Hey, what's up everybody? Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video, we're going to unbox, demo, and review this mini PC right here. This is the Peladn HA-4 Mini PC. The specs on here look absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to dive into this, but before we do, go ahead and hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. Now let's dive into this and see what it has to offer us. All right, let's pop this sucker open and see what we've got inside. Now this is a pretty heavy box here. It looks pretty large as well. Interested to see how big this mini PC actually is inside here. Sometimes you get all padding, so you never know until you actually get it open. Come on, guy. Well, that wasn't exactly graceful, but you can see it is well padded in here. All right, so we have the H series mini PC manual and probably the biggest booklet that I've ever seen for a mini PC. Looks to be very thorough, walks through the basic operations, different port layouts on here, shows you exactly what you have, also shows you how to mount this if you want to mount it to the back of your monitor, or you can certainly mount it to a desk if you wanted to. It comes in a couple different languages on here, so very thorough. Here's the mini PC itself. Definitely got some weight to it. We're going to set that aside first. We're going to see what else is included in here. Definitely very good packaging. So inside here, we have a couple cables. We have some mounting screws, and we have a mounting bracket. I love when mounting brackets are included because I think that's one of the best things about mini PCs. They're easy to mount either to the backside of a monitor or TV, or if you're somebody like me that loves to modify arcade cabinets or arcade one-up cabinets even, you can easily mount your mini PC to the inside of your cabinet, to the outside of your cabinet. Even if you were gaming on a desk, you can mount it inside of your desk, outside your desk. These definitely come in handy, and it comes with the mounting screws as well. So we'll go ahead and set that aside, get some of these boxes out of the way, and let's take a look at the cables. So we have a regular HDMI cable right here. Always good to have those. And we have right here our power supply cable. So it is a good size power supply. We definitely have some juicy specs on here, which I'll jump into with you guys momentarily. So 2-part power supply cable. Let's get some information on this real quick. Looks like 19 volts on here. So definitely got some juice to it. We'll go ahead and set that aside as well. Now let's grab our mini PC. This is what we're really looking for here. This definitely has some weight to it. I'm not sure what it weighs, but it definitely feels like over a pound. Definitely heavy. It's a good size too. It's definitely not the most compact or smallest mini PC out there. Definitely a good size. So all metal. Notice that right off the bat. I love that. I love that it's not cheap plastic. We definitely have some plastic coating on here as well, but definitely metal within, and that's where we're getting that weight from. So this is again the Peladn HA-4 Mini PC, AMD Ryzen 7 78040HS processor in here, AMD Radeon 680M graphics, 8 cores, 16 threads, speeds of up to 5.1 gigahertz, which is absolutely amazing. 16 gigabyte RAM, and we should have a 512 gigabyte SSD installed within, offering Windows 11. So this looks really impressive. Let's dive in and take a look at, before I start peeling back all of this, which it's really sharp actually underneath there. You can see we've got this sort of silverish metallic color here. And we are going to get some LED lights that actually go along. It's hard to see them right now because it's not lit up, but they go all along all of the different edges on here. So that's going to be really cool to see this kind of get lit up once we get everything set up on here. Just taking all of this off right now so there's no glare. But right here in front, we have a headphone jack over here on the far left, 2 USB 3 ports. We have a Type-C port, reset button, and a power button right here. And the power button, I know I drive some people crazy with this. Excellent action on the power button. I'm just really picky with power buttons because I've had bad experiences with some mini PCs where you have to push into it so hard you feel like you're going to break the damn thing. That's not the case here. Excellent action. And I love that everything is labeled across here. A little bit hard to see, but everything is labeled with either an icon for the headphone jack or just straight up says USB, USB, Type-C, reset, power. So you don't have to guess anything. You know exactly what everything is on here. Now, excellent ventilation I'm noticing on the sides and pretty much everywhere. There's just really good ventilation. You can see the airflow is going to be great here. Literally everything except for the front and back has exceptional ventilation for some airflow. Now, backside we have our DC power supply cable, which is going to get plugged in right here into this port. We have two additional USB ports here. One is a USB 3, one is a regular USB, Ethernet right here, and we have two HDMI ports on here. Now we also have a button for our lights. That's how we're going to toggle between the different light settings on here. All right, guys, you're probably wondering why we're in the dark right now. So I wanted to show you guys the LED lights that are stock on this mini PC. You can see that we have them on all four sides, front, back, left, and right. And right now is the default LED light setting. This is a rainbow light color that kind of rotates around here gradually. This is my personal favorite. I think it looks really cool. Very similar to the LED lights that you might install behind your TV that kind of reflect off of the wall. But on the back side here, there's this little button and it's labeled light and it lights up very nicely as well. But if we press that, we can cycle through the different options. So pressing it once disables the LED lights. If we press it again, you can see we have this white sort of, I guess there's a little bit of blue in there. It's a little bit hard to see on camera. There's actually a little bit more blue in person, I find, but nice LED sort of white bluish color here. If we press it again, it gets a little bit brighter. Press it again, it's going to give us this orangey red sort of light fluctuation. It does gradually change a little bit. You can see as it flickers. Now if we press it again, it gets a little bit brighter. Press it again, it's going to change to a darker red. Press it again, we're back to where we started with this rotating rainbow coloration. And I'll go ahead and add the lights back in my room here so you can see how this looks in a well-lit area. I think it looks really sharp in the dark, but it also looks really cool in a lit up room as well. All right, so you can see how this looks again in a well-lit room. Still have the color going around there, not as profound or as bright, obviously, in a lit up room, but still looks really cool as well. In my opinion, much cooler than without the lights altogether here. So we're going to go ahead and actually get this set up here. I'll plug it in and we're going to actually jump in. And first, I think what we should do is, well, we'll do things backwards today. Let's jump into some retro video game emulation, see what the experience is like there. And then we're going to go into Windows 11. We're going to set up Steam on there to dive into some modern day gaming and see just where the performance lies with some more modern games.
Love 15. Love 30. Love 40.
push potholes. Very long there, right.
Don't forget you can double jump. Just jump, then press the X button again while you're still in the air.
Right. Just another one of my many talents.
If you find the need to adjust your perspective on things,
Out of my face!
Owning the race. Long fish.
Oh, good one.
Round one. Fight. KO. Round two. Fight.
All right, guys, we just jumped out of the Peladn HA-4 Mini PC, and we tested out a bunch of games and game collections on here, a couple different ways as well. So I walked through the specs with you guys as we unboxed this, and we took a closer look at everything that we have with this Mini PC, so you guys know what it has to offer. And as a result of what it offers, we had a phenomenal experience gaming on here. So before I talk about the gaming experience on both Windows 11 using Steam and Batocera using an external SSD, I want to talk about the Mini PC itself and what I like and what I don't like. And in fact, what I don't like is non-existent. I love everything about this in all honesty, and I'm here to, give you guys my opinions on everything. So I try to be critical, or as critical as possible, but I absolutely love what this offers. I guess if I was being critical and really looking for a problem, I would say that this is certainly not that small of a Mini PC. This is one of the larger, probably the largest, in fact, Mini PC that I've ever tested. So keep that in mind. If you want something that's really compact and doesn't weigh much at all, then this probably isn't going to be your best bet, just because it is a larger scale and it does have some weight to it. But it has weight to it because of what it offers in terms of specs inside and just what it's made out of. It's a metallic Mini PC. It's not cheap plastic. If you drop this, it's not going to break into a million pieces. It's very durable, very high quality. We also have the LED lights that wrap around it, which, have absolutely no impact on performance, but they look really cool. I absolutely love that. And I love that they have the light button on the back. So you can hit that and adjust, the color scheme on there. And you can even shut it off and disable it if you wanted to do that as well. I think it looks really cool. And I like that stock setting with the rotating sort of rainbow effect on there. I just think it looks really cool. And here in my, gaming sort of filming room, I actually have LED lights on the backside of my TV. So when I dim the lights in here, I have the light effect from my TV, but I also have it coming from the Mini PC right in front as well. So it's just a really cool vibe that it creates. Now, this offers some amazing ports on here. We have dual HDMI ports. So if you're somebody that wants to use multiple displays, that is going to be huge for you. I actually use multiple displays a lot now when I edit my videos. Don't use multiple displays when I'm gaming. I know people that do, but never been my thing. I do use it though for editing videos, so it's a huge thing that I'm looking for now on Mini PCs if I'm going to be using that Mini PC for editing. So there's a lot of other ways that you could use dual displays if you're somebody into like stock market stuff, or you're into looking at like different charts. Dual monitors or dual displays definitely comes in handy for stuff like that, so you can compare charts on two different screens. My wife is a home care nurse, and she's always looking at people's medical charts. She uses 2 or 3 different displays at a time, so she can compare different charts and stuff like that. So it definitely comes in handy for a lot of people. We also have access to USB ports all over this, both in the front and back. I love having options like that where we can, connect things in the front. I use that usually for my controllers if I'm swapping out controllers, and I use a lot of different controllers. I try to use specialty controllers for certain collections. So having the ability and the convenience of swapping things out right in the front is huge for me. In the back, I'll usually plug in my keyboard or my USB receiver for my wireless mouse, because I'm not, removing those often. So I can kind of just plug them in and forget about them back there. But lots of great options on here. We also have the headphone jack, which is huge for people that want to use headphones. Not everybody wants to have the sound coming out of their TV. Some people want to just plug directly in, and you can also use that for external speakers if you want, depending on what type of setup you plan to use your Mini PC for. So let's talk about the performance here, specifically with gaming. Because it's good with gaming, it's good with everything else. It's good with streaming. It's good for, watching Netflix on here, watching YouTube on here, of course. If you want to watch the retro gaming guy on this Mini PC, it's got your back 100%. I've tested it out. So let's talk about performance with gaming. We jumped into games a couple different ways. First and foremost, we jumped into Windows 11. I downloaded Steam, and I jumped into a couple titles on my Steam account. We jumped into Disney Speedstorm, which is a family-friendly Disney-themed racing game. A lot of fun, and it doesn't look like it would be that challenging for a Mini PC to handle. However, I've tested this out on just about every Mini PC that I've reviewed here on the channel, and I would say that less than 20% of the Mini PCs that I've reviewed can actually play this game. Usually it falls flat just loading into the game. So I never even get into the experience the majority of the time. And in this case, we were able to get into the game, but we also had a phenomenal experience on there. There was no audio issues, no distortions, no lags or delays, no screen tearing, just smooth sailing across the entire game. Now, we also jumped into Tekken 7, very different game, very different style and genre game than that of the Disney racing game. And in Tekken 7, we had a very good experience. I won't say it was perfect, but it was still very good. There was one particular power kick that I would do with my character that every time I did it, it creates this sort of dramatic reaction from the other player. They kind of fall backwards, and it just creates this, sort of impact on screen, and it kind of just pauses the game ever so slightly. But with this particular mini PC, I noticed that it kind of created a little hiccup when that, big dramatic effect happens. It definitely is a point in the game where you have the most effects on screen, and it's definitely, creating a lot out of that sort of experience. So it does ever so slightly have like this little hiccup. It's not screen tearing or anything like that. And it doesn't really hinder the performance or the experience in any way, because as that dramatic kick happens and the impact of it happens on screen, it kind of pauses your gameplay anyways. So you can't follow up with, any combo kicks or anything like that, because it's showing the impact to the other player. So it's just one little thing that I noticed on here because I am so used to this game. Some people may not even have picked up on that. But as I pick up on things, I want to make sure that I let you guys know and just point them out. So, I wouldn't say that that's a reason that you should, just, not even consider this mini PC. It's not going to, be any major impact or anything like that, but still something I did notice, and I want to make sure that I point out to you guys. Now, you will be able to get into the majority of your titles on Steam. I can't say every single title out there is going to be flawless. If you're playing something like, a live game like, Halo's multiplayer, for example, you may have some scenes and some points in the game where you do experience like slight little lags or delays. Steam can be a challenge, and the games on Steam can be challenging. So there's varying degrees there. So just, take that into consideration. I wouldn't necessarily get this mini PC if you plan to only game on Steam, but it is a more demanding and challenging way to game, and it seems to tackle it pretty well on here. So it's a great option if you want to get into a little bit of it, but I wouldn't get this specifically, to do that exclusively on here. So we also jumped into Batocera. I actually went into two different versions of Batocera. I have a build that's Batocera 37, one that's 38, and it was a great experience on both of those. So we jumped into a bunch of retro game collections like Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. We jumped into N64, PS2, original Xbox. All of those performed extremely well. And I want to highlight original Xbox. Original Xbox usually on a mini PC isn't a great experience. Usually you have a lot of setbacks, a lot of limitations. In this case, we really didn't have any. The only limitations would be whether a game is compatible and going to run properly on the emulator. In no way does this PC have any shortcomings where it's going to ruin the experience within Xbox original games. It just comes down to whether those games perform well or at all with the emulator. And the emulator is very limited. It's one of my least favorite emulators out there, which ironically goes with one of my most favorite, retro game collections or consoles. I love the original Xbox, and that's probably why I'm so picky with emulating it. So great experience, though, in the end. We also jumped into GameCube. Awesome experience there. We jumped into Wii U. Very good there. I don't have a ton of Wii U titles to test out, but we jumped into Mario Tennis, Ultra Smash. Great experience. We didn't have any lags or delays there. So it was very, very good experience. We also jumped into Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch is another one of those collections where you're going to be at the mercy of the emulator and what is compatible there. But great experience with the games that I'm used to checking out. And I've tested out, again, a lot of mini PCs. Nintendo Switch is hit or miss. I'd say about 50% of the time you can get into it with a mini PC. And when you are able to, it's usually not a great experience across the board. In this case, it was. So it's definitely saying that this is a powerful mini PC with a lot of capabilities. Now, we also jumped into PS3. PS3 is a nightmare to get into, even on gaming PCs sometimes. Usually on mini PCs, it's just unheard of to even be able to launch a PS3 game. Usually mini PCs just have nothing near what you need to actually get into that effectively. And usually, again, they just don't even load up. In this case, we not only loaded up, but we had a good gaming experience on PS3 games. I can't say every single title is going to work flawlessly. That's just not going to be the case. A lot of that, again, comes down to the emulator. There's actually a list available online of all the games that perform well with the PS3 emulator. So check that out if you're looking to get into PS3 emulation. But here, it was a good experience. We jumped into a bunch of different titles. And, you know, it certainly wasn't perfect, but it was still very much playable, which says a lot, again, about this mini PC. So in the end, we have a great performance here. This is definitely a great option for gaming. And I think that it really just boils down to the size. If you're looking for something super compact, this isn't going to be a great option for you. But if you don't care, you know, that it is a little bit larger, has a little bit, you know, more of a presence, if you're going to be putting it on a desktop or you're going to be putting it on, you know, anywhere that you'd be gaming, a mantle, whatever the case may be, it's going to take up more space. It's going to have more weight to it. But, you know, in the end, you get much better performance out of it. And those specs definitely, you know, will get you into more games and game collections effortlessly. So one more thing I want to mention. The cooling on here is exceptional. And I mentioned that as we were just kind of taking a closer look at everything. The cooling here, the airflow is phenomenal. I gamed on this today for probably about 4 hours, in all honesty. And this barely heated up even the slightest bit. When I removed it and just kind of slid it over on my desk, it was a little bit warm on the bottom. You can obviously tell that it was running, but it wasn't hot by any means. And you could feel the airflow moving on all sides of it. So exceptional airflow on here, exceptional cooling. And, you know, that has an effect on the performance as well, obviously. So let me know what you guys thought of this mini PC. I absolutely love it, though. I'm going to be holding on to this one, and I'm definitely going to find some uses for it. So let me know what you guys thought. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed the content today. And, of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.